Okay, everybody. I don't have a hammer.
I'm glad about that.
We might need it.
I'm gonna be.
Okay, how'd you get that seat up?
I'm scared.
You might need to.
Okay, I'd like to call this meeting of September 9th,
You have to lean up a little bit.
of the Public School Committee to order. If we could all stand for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, if we could begin the meeting with our mission statement. Margaret?
Okay, mission, the Falmouth Public Schools create world-class student learning experiences. Our Clippers are empowered to pursue their goals with curiosity, integrity, and resilience. Clippers are creative, inquisitive, and engaged learners who participate in their community as socially responsible citizens. Clippers effectively communicate and solve problems that impact the world around them.
Okay, thank you, Margaret. Okay, I would like to read the recording statement. This meeting of the Falmouth School Committee is being recorded. In accordance with Massachusetts Open Meeting Law, anyone who wishes to make an audio or video recording of this meeting must first notify the chair. Please raise your hand and make your presence known if you intend to record the meeting. No. Okay, thank you. All right, so now we will move on to public comment. I would just like to make a statement about public comment before we started tonight. This summer, we spent a lot of time looking at other schools in the district, working with our MASC governing advisory body, and got some suggestions on how to streamline the meetings and make things as equitable as we can. So we have purchased a clock that is behind you. We put it there so that we can be aware and the public can be aware. They may not be able to see it if it were somewhere, in this area. So we're trying to emphasize equity. And whenever the 20 minutes is up, or the 2 minutes is up, I will say to you, please finish your sentence. And we're trying to make it so that everybody has that exact 2 minutes, because people have insinuated or stated before that some people get longer than others, and blah, blah, blah. So anyway, it's our attempt to be equitable to everybody. We always welcome you. In addition to the new clock, we also have a drop box that is, you may have seen on the table outside. If you wrote a statement and you don't feel like you'd like to read it in public, you can put it in the drop box. We just ask if you do to include your email so we can get back to you. It will have the same process as if you emailed us. Always we encourage emails because it gives us time to reflect on what you have said before our meeting. So anyway, we hope you'll find this equitable and doable. So we will now begin with public comment. What we're going to do is just read down the list of people who signed up. So the first person who on the list is Megan. Tony, so will you come up, please? And some kind of regulations now, you should say your street address too, please.
Thank you for this. I appreciate it a lot.
Okay.
I'm Megan Zottely, and my street address is 812 Carriage Shop Road. I'd like to ask you to reflect on the values we uphold as a district and whether our current approach to uniforms at Lawrence School truly aligns with them. As educators and leaders, we encourage our students to be true to themselves, to self-advocate, and to feel comfortable and safe as they discover who they are within the Clipper community. Yet by limiting their clothing choices, we are sending a conflicting message. Ask yourself why, as a district, we would choose to go against the recommendations of the ACLU and settled case law in Massachusetts, which clearly state that uniform policies, such as the one at Lawrence, open the door to subjectivity, discrimination, and financial burdens for low-income families, as well as violate freedom of expression. Ask yourself why, during the years when we most want children focused on learning, we are encouraging them to wear clothing that is restrictive rather than relaxed. Why is it that we allow freedom of choice, K through 4, 5 through 6, 9 through 12, but not 7 and 8? Why should these 2 years of secondary school stand apart from the rest of a student's educational journey? And yes, Lawrence is a secondary school, according to DESE. I urge you to consider whether enforcing this uniform policy places us on the right side of this decision. Let us be consistent in our values, fair in our practices, and supportive of every student's individuality. There have been multiple requests from many parents and school committee members on this committee asking for a direct review and vote specifically and only of the Lawrence school uniform. I'm once again asking for this, and for the removal of the Lawrence school uniform, and for consistency throughout our district to allow all of our students their right to choose their own clothing. Your statement, "We are listening," is wonderful to see in writing. I wish that it could really start happening in practice. Thank you.
Thank you.
Sorry. Working on it. It's my first night ever. Please bear with me. Tech support. I didn't get Mike's. Thank you. Perfect. All right, we're gonna have a.
Okay, the next person who would like to speak is Jen McCarthy.
Hello. My name is Jennifer McCarthy. I live at 58 Mara Vista Ave Extension. Hello, everybody. I'm happy to see you all, and I do want to talk about, I want to ask that we hear from the SROs about the 8th grade going in to the high school. I know that a presentation is coming, but I just want to make note that in May, at the Building Needs, Dr. Taylor stressed the importance of addressing community concerns and having a concrete plan on how the administration is going to keep the students safe. When discussing having the 8th grade in the high school, it is worth noting that a representative, so the SRO that spoke was against this, exposing 8th graders to high school problems. So I am in favor of the 8th grade going in, but I want to hear it all. I want to hear the pros, I want to hear the cons, I want to hear what an SRO with experience has to say about this. If the district is serious about improving communication and transparency, it's important that parents are informed about their discussions about when this will take place, and that, sorry, my husband sent me some talking points. I think that it's important to hear all of this. It wasn't recorded at the Building Needs, and it's a meeting that I wish I had attended to hear all the things that were talked about. So I just want to put it out there that I want to hear all of it, and the good and the bad, and then make a decision. And I also just want to put a little plug in for Morse Pond. I want to make sure that, you know, we're taking care of that school as a whole. I have 2 daughters in Morse Pond, and they really like it, and things seem to be going really well for them. So thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Wow, under the 2-minute mark.
Oh, no, reset itself.
Okay, thank you very much. That completes our list of signatures for wanting public comment. So the next item on the agenda will be the reading of the Wampanoag land acknowledgement. Sue, if you would.
Falmouth Public Schools acknowledges that we are gathering on the unceded ancestral land of the Wampanoag Nation. We recognize and respect the Wampanoag people, including those of Succonesset, Waquoit, Sipawicet, Teaticket, and Chappaqua, as original stewards of what is now known as the town of Falmouth, and honor their enduring relationship with this land. This land acknowledgement is an intentional act to counter the erasure of Indigenous people and to demonstrate respect for their sovereign rights. We are committed to educating ourselves and our students about the long-standing history of the Wampanoag people. In alignment with the core values of the Falmouth Public Schools, we pledge to build an ongoing partnership with the Wampanoag Nation.
Thank you, Sue. Okay, and the next item on our agenda is an update from our superintendent. So Lori, take it away.
Thank you, Carrie. All right, so first I'm going to do an update on our new employees that have been hired as of 9/2. So I'm going to pass this around so you can see all new employees. None are new positions, but they are new employees to the district. So there's a number here. We have an early childhood special education teacher, a grade 1 teacher, and a music teacher and adjustment counselor at East Falmouth. At high school, we have a food service worker, secretary, special education 1-to-1 aide, and a teaching assistant. At Lawrence, we have a new social studies teacher, special education 1-to-1 aide. At Mullen Hall, we have our new principal. At Morse Pond, we have 2 new teaching assistants. At North Falmouth, we have special education 1-to-1 and a special education teacher in TIP. At Teaticket, we have a grade 2 teacher, grade 3 teacher, librarian, DLCS teacher, a principal. I'll talk more about that in a little bit. Special education 1-to-1 aide, special education, 2 special education 1-to-1. At our Coalition for Children, we have a new administrative assistant bookkeeper. And sorry, we also have a building assistant at Teaticket. Some more have been added on here. Lawrence, we have a special education 1-to-1 aide, Morse Pond, another teaching assistant, and custodian. And then we have 4 new coaches this year as well. So our head football coach, our assistant football coach, head girls hockey coach, and the technical director for the band. And this as of September 5th. So we still have a couple positions still open that we'll be hiring for, but I'll give you that update at another time. So announcing some new administrators, as you know, Stephen Kapolka is our new principal of Teaticket Elementary. We have Shannon Carlson, Teaticket of Mullen Hall. There's Shannon. Rose Moran is the principal of East Falmouth, and she has 2 new administrators. Andrew O'Sullivan is the AP SEBA for K-4. You may know Andrew, you've seen him many times because he was the teaching and learning specialist in the teaching and learning office, which that position is still open and we are looking for someone. We also have Crystal Andrews that is the preschool SEBA. She was a preschool teacher and now she's the preschool SEBA for East. At Lawrence School, we have a new assistant principal, Stacy Willman, and we have a new department head for science, Heather Goodwin. So. All right, convocation, we had great energy. One of the things that we said that we like to listen to what staff said. They said they like opening up each school year, coming together and having some fun. The word on the street is that we were able to accomplish that again this year. It's getting tougher each year to do that, we'll say. But we're trying. We're out there trying to do our best to kick off the year. We had a number of our own staff members that actually showed their talent on stage, which was awesome. They were really good. The priorities for the year was also talked about, but I'm not going to talk about them right now because in just a few minutes we're going to hear from our awesome admin team when we present this year's goals. So we'll hold off on the priorities for that. And then we did something new this year. We had heard from our teachers that we're not necessarily, there's a lot of new things for new teachers, right? New teacher recognition, you get your professional teaching status. But when we get into the upper years, we're not necessarily recognized. So this year we did something a little different, and we had come up with the 25-year Clipper, and we did a presentation. So after convocation, everyone in the district was presented with their 25-year Clipper. And then we did everyone 25 years and up. So we literally had 71 gifts that we gave out for 25 years and plus, which I think is pretty exciting that we had 71 that we gave out. I'm extending that, or including, either an employee, so employees obviously were, current employees, school committee members that may be 25 or plus, or a combination of an employee and school committee member. So, Terry and Susan both have 25 years. Please show them. I didn't want to say what it was. 25 years. So we went with this. We thought we'd give a lot of t-shirts out through the year, but we went with that because that's something that our teachers can, or all of our staff can set on there. This was for all staff. They could sit on their desk and they could always be reminded. People could walk by and they could do that. So anyway, so
Thank you very much.
Yes, thank you.
Well, thank you. Okay.
Thank you.
It's a lot of years of
So-
commitment to the district.
Yeah.
So here's my ask for the rest of you. Please stay. So I've got mugs saved for you. So please stay. And we'll give out 25-year. All right, so next I want to do a couple recognitions. First, Sandy Capson-Bellis was nominated and accepted on the Executive Board of the Massachusetts Administrators for Special Education. So Executive Board members serve for 2 years, and so she will serve until July of 2027. She is a Southeast representative. There are 2 from each region of Massachusetts. The board is actually leading statewide nonprofit association dedicated to advocating, supporting, and educating on all matters pertaining to special education administrators. Their mission is to empower those responsible for supporting students with disabilities across the continuum of services and programs, ensuring that school districts fulfill their mandate to provide a free, appropriate public education to our Massachusetts students with disabilities. It is an honor to have the position, and I am so glad they recognize and see in Sandy what we do. So,
Thank you.
congratulations.
I'm looking forward to it.
Also, I want to recognize Henry St. Julian. He was accepted into DESE's Influence 100. The goal of Influence 100 is to increase the racial and ethnic diversity of superintendents in Massachusetts, to create more culturally responsive districts and leaders across the Commonwealth, and to promote better outcomes for students. So, again, that is an invite only. And so one of the commitments is he gets to shadow me all day long, 1 day a month, and which will be fun. And then a school committee and myself attend 4 meetings throughout the year quarterly, and Margaret as the advisor to our DEIB group, and that has accepted the position to serve the school committee in that role. So thank you. All right, so some of you have been asking, and I said that I will provide updates on the federal policies and funding. And so here's my first of many updates that I will be giving. First, there's 2 ways the new federal bill could impact our districts. One is the voucher program that they're talking about that has a start date of 2027. I will say it is run by the Treasury, not by DESE. So when you look at vouchers, I did a review of 2 states that have this in place. And in both states, it tends to be, the people that are using the vouchers tend to be families that either are already in private schools that are taking advantage, or in the state of Arizona that I looked at, it was more than 75% of vouchers went to students who were already enrolled in private schools. And then another state that there's information on was in Oklahoma, similar to this. Basically, 30% went to families making between $75,000 and $150,000. 17% went to families making $150,000 and $225,000. Roughly 20% went to families making over $225,000. The median household income is $60,000. And so again, it tends to go, so here's just 2 states. There's not a lot of states that already have the voucher program. I'm just starting to take a look at it. And we'll see what happens when it, when it comes to Massachusetts, if it's accepted at the state level, it is a choice by state whether they take that. So that has not been decided. Just wanted to give a little, that could change some of our landscape for the district. The other is the cuts to Medicaid and SNAP. And even though it's too early for us to know exactly how it'll affect student eligibility, they are predicting 2 to 3 million kids will lose SNAP benefits. Nearly $1 trillion in cuts are planned to Medicaid. So again, on the horizon, I'm paying attention to it, and I'll give you updates as I find out about them. Some funding updates. Massachusetts won their multi-state lawsuit against federal administration, and the entire federal funds are expected to be released on October 3rd to Massachusetts. However, there is still discussion in the House at the federal level to cut the education budget for the current year. I don't know how the two will work. If the one happens, does the lawsuit win out? Will we still have cuts? That's still up in the air. And I know you're going to hear me say that a lot. I'm going to follow things and give you updates as I know. For the FY26 budget, that affects our 26-27 school year. So not this one. That's what they're trying to settle now. It is predicted that it'll be a $66.7 billion budget, which is a $7 billion cut from our current budget at $78.8 million. So we could see an impact on next year's budget. The Senate bill, just to give an update, the Senate bill's level funding for most K-12 education programs with modest increases to Title I and IDA. And they're asking to send the funds to the states and schools on time. This was really supported by bipartisan. So that is hopeful. And then we have the House bill that is scaling back in their proposal. They're scaling back on the future Title I and IDA investments, and they're cutting off funding for English learners. And as you know, the first would be whether be September 30th. It rarely ever gets settled that early. So it'll probably be continuations. It'll be months before we really know how the House and the Senate actually work that out. But that's where we are right now. So the other piece at the federal level is the rescission of the 2015 Dear Colleague letter regarding the ELL students. And the 2015 letter basically was ensuring that English learners can participate meaningfully and equally in educational programs and services. It was citing the Supreme Court in Title VI of the Civil Rights Act of 1964, along with Congress and Equal Education Opportunity Act. The rescission is basically saying that it was unlawful and that we no longer will be providing language development for our multilingual learners. It's no longer our focus. And to support this, or alongside of it, the funding for Title III is slated to be eliminated, which are the funds that used for the education of multilingual learners. In Massachusetts, there is a commitment that we will continue practices as we have them now, and certainly I am committing to you that we will continue to provide instruction to multilingual learners in our district. Today was a very exciting day for Paul and I. And where's Tom? And Tom, Mr. Bushy. There's Mr. Bushy. We were part of the meeting along with the town manager and the CFO. We met with the MSBA today. Today was our scheduled review meeting and tours. The working meeting covered facilities, programs, enrollment. This was followed with a tour of Lawrence School and the Morse Pond School. Just as a reminder, we are on the MSBA timeline, so we don't really know anything yet. The meeting went well, but it doesn't necessarily mean that we're accepted in. So we will be notified in December if we're accepted in the program. That's just a reminder that that's the process. And then the next step after that, that they had reminded us today, would be we would conduct a comprehensive study of the Lawrence School. This cannot be done in advance. Even if you do one in advance, we did a small study that actually informed our statement of interest, but nothing that's before you're accepted can be used. So you have to have the study done afterwards. And so if we're accepted in, that would be our next process, is to go to the town for funding for a comprehensive study of the Lawrence School, which includes facilities, programs, enrollment, options. You have to look at a comprehensive view of the school. And so we will, I will just keep regular updates and let you know where we are. I assume it'll probably be in December before we hear anything else at this point. So, thank you.
Ask questions?
Sure.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. Anytime, you can always.
In regards to if we get a positive reaction from MSBA, will we be able to go to town meeting in May to go forward with that money for the study?
Yes,
April.
that would be,
April.
yeah, April town meeting.
April town meeting.
Yeah.
Yeah, sorry.
Exactly.
And then would that have to go to the ballot in May, or just at the town meeting?
It wouldn't go to the ballot, it would only be about 2 million.
Okay,
It's just for
So
the
it's
study.
just the initial funding.
okay, thank you.
All right, and then also on the town warrant in November, you'll see a best use study for the Morse Pond. So the town has presented to the select board and to the finance committee for $150,000 to study the Morse Pond School for the best use for what the town may use with the building for. So they are moving forward, and so we will have no more after the town meeting for that. Two Falmouth events I want to talk about. The 300 committee annual meeting and 40th anniversary celebration was in July. One of our own, Carmela Majewski, was presented with the Special Places Award. And they don't give that out to every year. They only give it out when they actually find someone that's deserving. And the work that they do together in our partnership, it was tremendous, just tremendous. The nice things they said about Camilla and how she's working for our students and that connection with the 300 committee. So I just wanted to mention that. Also, they also talked about the potential new trails. They have been doing educational trails, at almost all of our schools. Some schools aren't right connected, so you have to maybe walk down the street a little bit to get on a 300 committee parcel of land so that they built the trails. But with the new parcel that they've purchased in North Falmouth, will be close to the school, and they are talking about being able to do trails where the students can connect. And these are all educational. It's learning about the environment, whether it's the ground, flowers, trees, wildlife in that. And so there's it's great they do the QR codes that the kids can get on. They actually have actually the talking and reading both about the educational piece. So I just wanted to point that out. The other I wanted to mention was the Farming Falmouth ribbon cutting event at the Patch in August. It's just absolutely beautiful. There were like over 200 people there. It was absolutely remarkable. They've done a great job. The Falmouth High School is just right in walking distance, and so we've already started conversations about how to connect that with the Food Justice Initiative and having students having more opportunities actually on those grounds. And then Carmela, again, has been in conversations setting up field trips for one of our grades. She's just reviewing the standards and trying to ensure which grade level will be able to go to the patch as part of their field trip. So adding in something else. As all of our field trips, we look at the standards. There's pre-work in the classroom, there's the field trip, and then there's post-work in the classroom. So it is tied to the standards, it's tied to the work, but it's getting our students out into our living classrooms. So that's great. Speaking about our awesome students, just want to talk about 3 Falmouth High School students just this afternoon were panelists at the We the People Civic Engagement for Cape Cod Conference. Liliana Alietta was presenting reasons for student civic engagement. Rima Petrosian sharing her own example of civic engagement, and Catherine Ferranti addressing barriers students face in civic engagement. Just another opportunity for our students that builds excellence. And our Clippers experience here was just their dynamic conversational styles, public speaking, when you're sitting on a panel with experts, and then engaging with the audience. And so great skills for our students to learn, and just another way that we are providing that equity and excellence for our students. And my last update is pretty exciting. The US and World Report high school rankings are out for the 25-26 school year. I really want to congratulate our Clippers. We are 76 in Massachusetts out of 352 high schools. We are second in Barnstable County, just behind Nauset. If you include charter schools, then we'd be in third. Sturgis continues to hold that #1 spot in charter schools, #4 in the state, but this year we ranked the #2. I want to talk a little bit about how do we actually get that ranking, right? And so we specifically excelled in the number of students who take AP courses and students who pass with a 3+ in 2 different areas: college readiness. So it's the proportion of 12th grade students who took and passed at least one AP or IB exam, and for us it's the AP. Passing is worth 3 times more in their ranking than just taking a course. And we rank very high in the number of students that are passing 3 or plus. It's also the breadth of the curriculum, which is the proportions of 12th grade students who took and passed AP in multiple areas. So more exams are valued higher than fewer exams, up to a maximum of 4. And then we have quite a few students that actually take a number of AP courses. And then of course they have to be passing those AP testing. We also ranked extremely high in our reading proficiency, and we ranked 56 in the state in our aggregated scores on state assessments, compared with the US news expectations, given the proportions of students who are in the categories of Black, Hispanic, and low-income students. And we have 24% in those categories. And so the score of 56 is extremely high in the state. So just wanted to go Clippers, right? All right, thank you very much for listening to all those updates.
Yes. Go ahead.
So getting back to our new hires, so I'm wondering how many of them are former Clippers?
At least one principal.
I can see a couple here, actually.
There are a few here.
I see Peter Cook, I see Stephen Kapolka, and I'm sure it was just a quick accidental overlook, but the high school girls varsity field hockey also has a new coach, and she is also a Clipper.
Yes, she is. Yes, she is.
Rachel Curtis.
Yes, Rachel Curtis, and I'm sorry they missed that when they picked that one up.
It's okay, accidents happen.
But we have a couple, Lily Peterson,
Yeah.
and I'm just trying to see the ones that I might know, but yeah, we do have a number here, and we will look that up.
And so I would love to know that number, and again,
Okay.
I also want to shout out to Falmouth High School Field Hockey, who is playing the Barnstable this evening, although I know that the game is over. I don't know what the score was.
Yeah, okay. All right, so that's.
Glenda?
First, I just want to thank you for giving the overview of the landscape of the federal happenings, and that I think that's very helpful to me as a committee person, and I think that it's important for us as a committee and for the community to know that things that are happening, I mean, it has always been things that are happening on the federal level impact us, but particularly now. And I also just want to thank you for reiterating the commitment of the district to English language learners, despite this really catastrophic news about cutting the funding. I think that that's just devastating, and but it's going to take the state and local districts in Massachusetts to head things off and guarantee the rights of these children. So thank you.
Any other comments? Okay, I'd like to thank you for what I dubbed was, and you liked, the year of the Clipper. By Clipper meaning bringing forth examples of Clipper's success in exceeding. A couple years ago, we had a field agent from MASC who told us you should say something in every meeting about the success of students, because that's what you're supposed to be working towards. So, and I forget the name of the high school teacher who played.
Sullivan.
Yeah, and when one of his lines that he paid was, if they win, we win. So it's great to hear the success of all those students that you mentioned. Thanks.
Sure.
Okay.
Year of the Clipper, we're gonna have some every meeting.
Yeah.
It won't be hard.
Nope, it
Okay.
will not be hard.
Okay, so we're actually 2 minutes. I don't want to jinx myself ahead of the agenda time. So, and we had
I talk fast.
now we have something we all look forward to every year, is the district goals presentation
Let's do
by our famous or infamous. You picked the adjective.
You sure you're okay being down there like that?
Yeah, no, of course, of course. We'll take front rest.
So everyone can, we'll do our half circle here.
Henry, I think the cowbell went to Henry's head. Look at him.
So, here we go, okay. So part of, if you were in a convocation, part of the convocation is that we added a little glitter at Golden. So tonight we were trying to show our little glitter tonight too, a little bit. So anyway, all in the spirit of what we've been doing. So tonight we present our continued commitment to excellence for every student. We are on a good path and we will stay the course. We have adopted a high-quality math and ELA curriculum that aligns to standards and is designed to meet the needs of all students, including our students with disabilities and our English language learners. The ELA program meets the standards of the science of reading. We have provided training for teachers and implemented protocols to ensure every student who needs additional tiers of support receive what they need in their targeted areas. We are meeting each student where they are and engaging them in meaningful learning. We are providing equity so all students can achieve at a high level. This year, we will refine our practice. And since, I'm sorry. Sorry, that was, okay, here we go. And since we are focused on equity and excellence, we are following our educators' goal format this year with a student learning goal, a professional practice goal, and the district growth goal. And now I will turn it over to my esteemed colleagues to provide you with the details of that work. Next up is remarkable Rebecca and terrific Tom.
Thank you very much. Nice to see everybody. Like Dr. Dorr said, meeting the kids where they are is extremely important. And the instructional leaders in the district as well, last year as well as over the course of the summer, were engaging and really digging in and came up with some shared understandings here for the student learning goal. All students are general education students first. Students learn where they feel they belong and see themselves in what they are learning. Multi-tiered system of supports is a system and process teachers use to meet the needs of all students. Student success is a shared responsibility. In pursuit of excellence, again, like Dr. Dura said, meet the kids where they are and provide them with the tools necessary to support them and the resources necessary to make sure that we're recognizing and honoring every student every day. This work is not new though. You'll hear over the course of this presentation, our colleagues believe that all Falmouth public school students can achieve excellence. And this time I'm going to turn it over to, was it Marshall?
Thank you. Excellent. So thank you. We came to those common understandings, the shared understandings, and it also then pushed us to talk and think about some actions that may follow those understandings as we were in the process of developing this goal. So some of those shared actions and pieces that you'll see in our work over the course of the year is we are going to continue to engage in our professional development with our new curricula that we have introduced, but we also in a phase of monitoring. So making sure that we have that consistency in some of those other pieces. So as we're growing, we're continuing to keep that growth growing with the pieces that we've already started. We're also, just really making that commitment that it is a whole team effort. So that is the support through our general education teachers, our special education teachers, our specialists, our EL teachers. So it's a whole perspective of expertise coming to support the students in their growth. We're always working with our partnerships. We never want to lose sight of those partnerships, so we continue to highlight that as an important action. So continuing to nurture that partnership. And as Tom was saying, there is the MTSS, or the multi-tiered support system, that we have developed our understanding of, our shared understanding, and now we need to advance that work and continue to push that forward. So to then kick off what our final goal is, I'm going to kick it over to the superb Sandy and Stephen.
Thank you. I take this opportunity to say I'm really happy to be here. So I appreciate that. But our student learning goal that we worked on all over the summer and through this process is that all students deserve a safe, supportive, and inclusive learning environment to access high standards and achieve excellence. Through our coordinated system of support, we provide opportunities for learning in the 3 areas. Number 1, academics. Number 2, behavior. And number 3, social and emotional learning.
So this is a continuation of the goals 1 and 2 that we were working on last year. So I think a lot of these things seem familiar, but we're really looking at making sure that we're implementing consistent systems to identify the students who are at risk, and thinking about those evidence-based interventions that we're putting into place, making sure that we're collecting the data, reviewing the data, and then making determinations about moving forward, but also making sure that these systems are implemented with fidelity across the district. So we'd like to introduce now the dynamic Dr. Alan Harris and the shining principal at Mullen Hall, Ms. Shannon Carlson. Yes.
Excuse me, Sandy and Stephen, could you move?
It
would be, then we can see it, because we're trying to read the.
Now that I'm done, I'm going to.
No, we don't.
Thank you.
We're trying to see the screen behind you, so, thank you.
We do want to see your lovely faces too.
Okay.
All right, excellent. All right, well, to start off with, I want to talk about our professional practice goal. I'm very happy to be here. I'm very proud to be part of this team. And when we thought about our professional practice goal, we were thinking about those key understandings. And number 1, first and foremost, is that everyone has a voice. And when,
Why, thank you.
would you like me to step?
Because you're the new principal. You get to try sitting down.
I'll sit to the side so that you can still see the screen. Does that work for everybody? All right, excellent. Thank you. All right, so going back to that, everybody has a voice because we want to make sure that our communication is not only consistent, but it's also accessible to all members of our staff, our community, our families, and we want to ensure that that communication is accessible and shared. So then we also want to build off of our practices and continue to expand them with our feedback loops that we've established. Namely, thinking about some examples of every Friday sending out information to our families from all of our schools so that they can know exactly what's going on, they have access to it, and then they can provide that feedback too through that. And that at all of our events, we also have opportunities to seek feedback as well from those who participate in them. And that feedback can be shared in various different forms, QR codes, links. The point is to make sure that that's a continuous loop of information and shared information with everybody. And then we recognize too that there is a need for an annual district survey so that we can gain even additional feedback and insight, analyze that, and make plans moving forward. So I'm going to turn it over to Dr. Harris so he can share a little bit more about that.
Hello.
Hi.
One of the great things about being part of this team in this district is the continuous learning that happens on a regular basis. And as you know, 2 years ago, part of the equity audit was getting a community feedback. And I think we learned from that and the growth from that, and appreciate Dr. Dewar's leadership in saying, how do we make that happen then on a regular, systemic, and continuous basis? And so one of the big goals we have in our professional practice is to work on developing a task force that would develop a quality way to survey all of our partners in an annual, meaningful way, knowing how we reach them, how we get meaningful feedback, and then how the task force can then help take that feedback and help us learn what the community is telling us about how we reach our goals. So a big objective this year is to work on that, have that in place, and then a process in place as developed by the task force to use that on an ongoing basis. So I think we've been in this practice, but want to continue the plan, do, study, act in a meaningful way that takes meaningful feedback from all of our partners, families, staff, and our students as well. And I think it's a big step for us and an important element of what we're doing this year. And with that, it's time to turn it over to persevering Paul and harmonious Henry.
Okay. I do want to remain my coolness by changing my glasses. I hope it's okay. Okay, so in this part, it's really our why. I think Falmouth Public Schools remains deeply committed to the ongoing mission to advancing equity and excellence by providing a world-class learning experience. We have that in our mission statement, world-class learning experience. And so therefore, this number 2, the why for this professional practice is very clear. It's very important that we continue the things that we did last year to improve our communication practice, not only to continue, but to expand. The goal is to move beyond temporary initiatives, but have it embedded, effective, and communication strategies that are sustainable year after year, and that they are practices that will strengthen our district. And so this is the why. Paul, you want to take it to the next part? Sure.
Just adding on to the statements that Shannon and Alan and Henry have just gone through, but the second half of this goal is to seek the feedback from staff, students, and families to gain a better understanding of the impact and effectiveness of our actions and determine areas for improvement. And again, this is providing multiple avenues where people can respond to staff letters that may be going out, or to letters from the central office, et cetera, and do it in a timely, efficient way, and that we can gather that feedback and analyze it ourselves. So with that, I think of my
Radiant,
Radiant,
Rose, and Dapper.
Tim.
Tapper. All right, tremendous.
We're gonna teach Henry about alliteration later. All right. I guess we'll review alliteration later. So, I've been honored to be here. Thanks for having us at the committee. Our district growth goal is one that we started discussing in the summer, and it's a really exciting, I think, meeting of a lot of initiatives as they come together and really speak to learning. Shared understandings for this goal that we have, there'll be a strong connection between academic learning and practical experiential learning. There's always a connection between what we're learning in the classroom and what's happening out in the wider community. And students can make a meaningful impact as they learn to take ownership for their actions and impact the world around them. So truly, I think the vision for this goal is, to connect life to learning and learning to your life. We want to guide all students with experiences that extend beyond the classroom and lead to lifelong learning, careers, civic engagement, and truly this forms, I think, the powerful core of what Tier 1 instruction speaks to. And to give you some specific actions that we'll be taking around this goal, I'd like to turn it over to Rose.
Thank you very much.
Absolutely.
Thank you for having me. Thank you for letting me be part of the team, and I'm still here. I have a mug too, Terry. Some of the actions that this goal, how we implement this goal through actions is we have increased connections between our facility upgrades and classroom learning. We've aligned the district capital plan with sustainability planning. We have also aligned the district-wide sustainability planning with relevant local workforce opportunities for our students. We're creating internship opportunities to provide meaningful learning and experiences in which students have voice in district projects and can readily apply their learning. We're hosting the 2026 Cape and Islands Big Blue Conference focused on the local blue economy. We're strengthening the Clipper Compost program with a web-based data dashboard, and we're making use of student-collected data across grades and subjects. And I can speak to the elementary level about the Clipper Compost programming. We're starting green teams. 2 of our buildings have green teams with our students that will go around and collect the recycling, measure the compost, collect that data, and hoping then we're sharing it with the upper grades to analyze that in a meaningful way, real life data that relates to their learning. So on and upward, and we'll spread the gold. Thank you. Oh, who am I? I'm introducing the lovely Super Sonia. I didn't do it. I have to go back. Thanks.
All right. So I think that as we look at our district growth goal, to advance the work that we've already started in sustaining and expanding sustainability practices and ensuring our collective work is anchored and aligned to our comprehensive curriculum, this goal really gives us an opportunity, as my colleagues have shared, to cross all disciplines and to bring forward both the voice that we talked about in our second goal, our professional practice goal, but also meeting students where they are, building off of their interests and giving them choice. So whether it's through their civics projects that we spoke to earlier, and Dr. Doerr mentioned opportunities that our students are engaged in today, the work that we're doing with Carmela, the opportunities that we've had under our recognition for Green Ribbon, or now that we've gone green, the opportunity to shift and go blue and really look at the coastal systems as we're building out internships and other opportunities. We just have a wide array of different experiences our students can take on that may fit their individual interests and choices, or may cross others, but they can find themselves in internships on our campuses and impacting our work and really understanding even more deeply what it means to be a Clipper. And so with that, I would like to turn it back to the dynamically dedicated Dr. Doerr.
But wait a minute.
And with that, we'll take a bow.
But Sonia was,
She was last, she had a lot of time.
Sonia was an English teacher. She has an alliteration
Button.
I hope that through the presentation, you've seen the commitment. This is 3 years running. We keep refining, we keep going deeper, and making more of a difference for our students, and it is a commitment. not only from us, but that commitment is filtering down. And so that says a lot for the district. I think we're focused on the right things. Our staff is telling us we're focused on the right things, so we're going to keep moving forward. But thank you, and thank you to all of you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. All right.
While we're moving back, can I just, we have talked about the Clipper the experience. Will continue to add, so we kind of continue to learn about what each of our letters in Clipper means, right? And this is from kindergarten, preschool, clear through 12 plus. All of these are in the schools, and this was a piece I wanted to add. We had these last year, and we wanted to bring those back as well in English and in Portuguese. And as one of your goals has been, is to create bulletin boards was one of the things you talked about. And so we have dedicated 2 spaces for you. They are magnet strips with magnets. So as you want to collect, and you can add here under each one, you can add other things that you're doing. You actually did beautiful work over the summer and everything in the front. If you wanted to put any of those up or whatever, we can add over the year things that you'd like us to put up. Or you can ask us to do things. We're always happy to add things too that's important. So I just wanted to point out that we continue to try to take steps with the school committee recognition as well.
Thank you. They are ever upbeat, aren't they, our administrators? Thank you, guys. Okay, so now on goals, we will have a report from the evaluation committee about the superintendent evaluation timeline.
Well, our report is the timeline that's in the agenda. It's the dates. We've already had 2 very, I think, productive meetings in August. And tonight we're going to have the superintendent present her goals, which were the product of our conversations. And then the rest of the dates are just, they're very similar to what the committee did last year in terms of timing. And it's here for your review.
Maybe you want to emphasize this, the meetings.
Oh, okay. So on January 19th to the 30th, that's when we will be meeting with this, each of us will be meeting with the superintendent to review her mid-year cycle. And then on April 24th, you will submit your evaluations. And then on the 27th to the 1st, each of us will meet with the superintendent to discuss our evaluations. And then May 1st is the very last day to submit any changes to your individual evaluations.
Okay, are there questions? We'll start with our rotation. Margaret, do you have any questions? Nope. Katrina?
About this page, no.
No, thank
Melissa?
No, thanks.
I do.
Okay.
So I don't think it particularly matters for this version, but since we use this year's to build next year, over the last, I don't know how long it was, 10 days or something, Lori had sent out an opportunity for everybody to review her goals ahead of tonight. And I thought that was awesome because it gives us a chance to, the subcommittee already has that opportunity, but we vote on them as a collective. So I think it would be great to capture that in the August 26th to September 9th, that individual school committee members are able to meet with the superintendent. That way it'll get carried over to next year and be a continuing practice.
Good suggestion.
Okay, so thank you very much for putting this timeline together and getting ready for us to look at the actual goals.
Can I just also mention that Chris Lumping and Margaret Souza and myself, we are the subcommittee, so I just wanted to acknowledge that. They're our work.
Thank you for the work you guys have done. Okay, all year long, you have benchmarks to meet and everything. Thank you very much.
No, I just want to say thank you to Glenda for kind of leading our group. So thank you.
Okay, Margaret's, no comment? Nope. She's just glad to work with them too, I'm sure, right? Yeah. Okay, so now we will hear from the superintendent on presentation of her goals.
All right, thank you. All right, so the evaluation timeline from September through the end of March, because of the calendar and the way it fell, it's a little bit shorter this year. So goal 1, the student learning goal. One thing I want to talk about a little bit as the role of the superintendent is really to provide direction, oversee the process in order to support whatever that goal and direction is. So in goal 1, in the way of supporting student learning, I am going to provide oversight and direction, and I'll talk about that in specific areas of the student achievement data analysis, MTSS and IST analysis, and the development of school-specific objectives for student advancement. The standards that I identified cover all 4 standards, the data-informed decision-making in the instructional leader section, scheduling and management information systems in the standard 2, sharing responsibility in the family and community engagement, and 2 areas in the professional culture standard 4, commitment to high standards and continuous learning. Just 1 second, I gotta move this because it's there. Okay. Some of the key action steps, we will review and analyze student reading and math benchmark data in grades K through 8. We will review and analyze the MCAS data, grades 3 through 8 and grade 10, and other achievement data such as AP honors, career technical education, SAT scores with the Administrative Council in September, November, and February. I will be meeting monthly with the Director of Teaching and Learning and the Director of Student Services to review MTSS and IST process and documentation review. So that the processes happen in the school, but we will be taking that information and reviewing it, which will guide us in what further refinement we might need at each individual school. And then meet with each principal to determine the individual school objectives for student learning, for continued student learning. Goal 2 is my professional practice goal, and that's improved communication with staff by increasing information sharing and opportunities for feedback and collaboration. It was discussed last year among staff through the FEA survey that they want to see improved communication with me as a superintendent, which is certainly fair, and with the central office team. So the standards here that I'm going to are all in standard 4, professional culture, commitment to high standards, communications, and continuous learning. And so the areas that I'm going to focus on is increased periodic emails to bi-weekly emails to staff focused on timely information of district and school initiatives. This is, we have now named it as news from central office, and each one of the departments at the central office will be giving updates, and this is going to happen every other week. I'm going to increase my walkthroughs from 2 times a month in each school to 3 to 4 times a month. I'm going to offer the first of 2 one-to-one sessions with the superintendent at each school in the fall. I usually do 1 session through the year. It came back that they would like to see me twice a year at each school. So since the timeline ends in March, I'm only gonna get the fall one in on this. I'm certainly gonna do a second one in the springtime. Attend fall staff meeting at each school specifically to listen to concerns and answer questions. That's one of them within the time frame of the evaluation. Outside of the evaluation, I'm also going to be doing that with my team in the spring. Along with my team, we are going to hold a mid-year voluntary staff meeting at each school for open discussion and collaboration. And certainly, as I say, it's voluntary, but people would have an opportunity to talk with the entire team 3 times this year. And then we are going to provide in those every other week surveys. There's going to be a survey question. We're always going to have the continued survey question. How are we doing with our communication? And what would you like to, what would you like to see in addition? And then there will be a second question periodically on our district initiatives, so we can see how we're doing. That may be the implementation of the new ELA curriculum. It could be the equity teams and how we're doing. It could just be about anything that we're doing we want to see. Certainly, a lot of the goals that we're doing, we will be focused on that work to make sure that that we're getting feedback and it's a constant feedback loop on that. So those are the action steps for that. And my goal 3 is the district growth goal. And that is monitor and communicate finance and policy changes at the federal and state level and take appropriate action as needed. And I will, part of that you'll see is the communication, and I started that tonight. The standards that I'm going to focus on are 2 in the management and operations, standard 2, law, ethics, and policies, and the fiscal systems. In standard 3, it's family and community engagement will be around communication, and standard 4, professional culture, is around communications. So action steps I'll be taking is monitor the financial changes at the federal level and prepare for potential loss of funds. Monitor key state legislation affecting the schools and develop policy and/or practices to ensure compliance. Communicate updates and changes to the school committee, staff, and families as appropriate, and involve stakeholder input as needed. One such item I will just give at the state level is the potential implementation of a statewide cell phone ban. And so the communication on that and getting stakeholder input will be a part of that process as the time is appropriate. If it hits this year at the right time, I will do it whether it's in the evaluation or not in the evaluation, because it's the right thing to do as we move forward with that. So this year I'm going to have a second district growth goal. So there'll be 4 goals. This is to develop an implementation plan for the vision of navigating the future together. We are still in discussion, and depending on the school committee decision-making, there's going to be work to do, and I think that was a goal last year, and I think I'd be remiss if I didn't focus on this as well this year. 3 indicators in standard 3, family and community engagement is engagement, communication, and family concerns, and in standard 4, professional culture, also communications. So I'm going to oversee the process for the potential Lawrence School renovation. Pending a decision with Lawrence School grade configuration, develop a 2 to 4 year process plan for developing changes at Lawrence School and either Falmouth High School or the elementary schools, depending on how the decision making goes. I put in the word process plan. I want to be clear, there's no way I can do all of that work by the end of March, right? Since the decision making is just this fall. But what I will put together is a plan of all the elements that need to be decided over the next 2 to 4 years and how those decisions will be made. So it will be a process plan that I'll have ready. Developing a plan for expanding pre-K with or without an early learning center. I have got to figure out how to do that. It is a need for our families. And then pending the decision for an early learning center, develop a process for moving attendance boundary lines across the other elementary schools, if that works out. So, that certainly a lot of that is pending whatever the decisions are. So it was kind of hard to be real specific, but I can do that as time goes on and update this. And then, of course, communicate status and plans to stakeholders as part of that. And that concludes my 4 goals for the year, so thank you very much.
Okay, are there any questions? It's this side. Kelly is first.
No, I think I already gave all my input when I had a chance to meet. Thanks.
Chris?
Nope, I'm good.
Set?
I just wanted to kind of put everything in a framework here that when we met as a subcommittee with Dr. Dorr, we had expressed some of the, we had talked about some of the feedback that we had had as a committee and also from the community that it would be helpful to have goals that centered around student data, communication, integrating staff feedback, and a financial component. And Dr. Dorr came back, I think, with goals that really do that. So I think that that's wonderful. And also, last year there were 3 goals, and this year you've provided us with 4 goals. So you've kind of raised the bar for yourself in doing a strategic planning goal. So I appreciate that you incorporated some of the comments that we passed along to you, and you really responded. So thank you.
Welcome, thank you. Thank you for the committee. Great collaboration during our last meeting, and it was very helpful, so thank you.
Melissa?
No, thank you.
Is a attendance boundary lines, is that redistricting? Is that just like a euphemism for redistricting?
No, it actually, there is a definition for redistricting, and moving boundary lines is a bit different, which I can get into at some point. You want me to get into? Well, actually, at some point when I do a presentation later, I'm going to get into that. So that very thing. Okay. Yeah, but not a presentation tonight. When I said later, I meant like later down the road. Not later tonight.
I somehow missed your email, so this is my first time seeing the presentation, which I regret. But I will hopefully meet with you and talk about it. But I really do appreciate the emphasis on feedback and surveying and being more present with the staff and all of that. It's really really appreciated. Thank you.
Margaret? Okay. So, could we get a copy of this to look at before? The process this for us and the public to know is that we listen it, consider them, and then at the next meeting, we vote to accept these goals. So could we get copies of that? I don't know.
I was just waiting to see if there was any additional feedback tonight.
Okay.
Before I put that in writing.
Did we get a copy of this one in an email, or was it the district goals? That, you were saying?
Both of them would be good. We could have both of them.
No, and Kelly was saying that we got a chance between August 26th and now to review. Is that this presentation?
It was this presentation.
Okay, that's what it is.
All right. Thank you very much. Again, thank you to the work of the evaluation committee. Okay, so next we will have an update from the Office of Teaching and Learning.
All right, so
Get it, Sonia.
Oh,
no. Oh, you wanted to say something, and you warned me. Yeah.
All right.
All right. I'll just be quiet.
All right, Dr. Tallier, she's going to be providing us with some regular updates throughout the school year on AI. DESE has provided districts with guidance, and it was made public in May. And so we are spending this year really focused on that, making sure teachers review the guidance, research best practices, and then create a feedback loop. So I really appreciate all the work that Dr. Tallier has put into this and her plans for the year. We're going to have a brief introduction to that this year, but I really want her to provide ongoing updates throughout the year. So I appreciate that. And then she's also going to provide us a brief update on our new ELA curriculum. So Dr. Tallier?
So thank you. As Dr. Dorr shared, the Department of Elementary and Secondary Education released their guidelines, and so they had convened a task force of educators from across the Commonwealth to help shape their guidelines. And then Mr. O'Sullivan, in his role as teaching and learning specialist, and I joined DESE between last March and May, and we got to participate in some experiences with them. And now we're excited to carry that work forward into the new year and look at what that means for our continued professional learning, and how we develop AI literacy, both for ourselves as professionals across our staff and for our students. AI, or artificial intelligence, as it grows in its scope and its use, has sort of morphed, and I think there's three large categories that we often use to talk about it. The first is predictive, which is probably how many of us have come to learn about AI initially, then generative and agentic. I'll walk through those. Agentic, yeah. A-G-E-N-T-I-C, agentic, I guess I dropped the T, sorry. Predictive AI is just that, it makes predictions. So if you think about watching Netflix, when you finish binge watching a series or after you've watched a movie, it makes suggestions, it predicts what you now might like to watch, and it offers you something to think about. When you think about generative, it's creating something for you. So something like ChatGPT, which we've seen a lot in the headlines, or even tools within Canva where you can describe what you want a picture to be, because you can't find it anywhere in your picture library, and it'll create something for you. And then the agentic AI starts to make decisions, and it can change based on information. So in large part, I mean, that's the type of AI we often think about when we think about autonomous vehicles, like Tesla's models, right, that drive themselves, or some of the other features. So those three different levels of AI continue to develop, and they develop really quickly, such that sometimes when we receive guidance, or if we're accessing materials from a professional organization like publications from Corwin, or working with the ASCD, the Association of Supervision and Curriculum Development, within 12 to 18 months, they already have to update them, right? So we're trying to keep pace with technology that exceedingly gets ahead of us. So as we're doing that, we're really using DESI's guidance as a blueprint to walk through exercises and use it to inform decisions about responsible and ethical use, attention to equity around access to tools and resources, and the impact in teaching and learning. And it's really a comprehensive effort that stretches across all departments, it stretches across all grades, and it's definitely going to present some new opportunities and some new challenges for us. And so throughout the year, as Dr. Dorr shared, I'll continue to provide updates, and I'll continue to provide information, because a lot of it's going to come from the feedback and the information that our teachers are sharing with us as they try out different experiences and join us in the professional learning. So then to continue on to EL education, our new ELA curriculum, just to wrap up the update. As you know, on Convocation Week, we opened with our full day of PD. There was a second professional development session that we had with representatives from EL education. They divided our teams up, so we had a K2 team, a grade 3-4 team, and then a 5-6 team. And so for part of the day, it wasn't only the grade level teachers who are teaching the curriculum, but they were joined by special educators, reading specialists, our library and DLCS teachers, because the classroom libraries have shifted, which is impacting, right, the relationship and some of the titles that we have in our libraries. They all came together and had an opportunity to work with the publisher to clarify expectations, ask questions, and really dig into all of the resources that had been delivered to the district over the summer, and we're waiting for them when they got in their classrooms. So it's a great opportunity. I got to visit different sessions and listen to the conversation, the experience, and see people in their grade level teams or cross grade teams, and really starting to get excited about the planning and the resources. So definitely builds new learning routines. You heard that sort of echoed in our goal as we go through the professional development and implementation, but all of that also builds off of, we had a team that came together this summer, many of whom were our grade level leaders, to just help advance that implementation and help make sure that clarifying questions that needed to be answered from the spring or from the May PD, they had prepared answers so they could get a really good start on the new year. And special shout out to Dr. Erin Casady, who's our elementary literacy manager, for helping to guide both the selection process and to continue to shape our ongoing professional development. Thank you.
Questions on the update? Melissa?
No.
No, thank you.
That was very fast, but I think I don't have anything.
Margaret?
I actually just had a session on AI, so I'll have some communication with you, maybe bring some of the ideas.
Okay, thank you.
Kelly?
Nope, I'm good, thanks.
Chris?
Oh, I'm good, thanks.
Okay. Thank you. I'm really personally interested in AI. Ever since we learned about it, I've just been wondering how it's going to impact. You know, first it was considered cheating if kids used AI, right? But now it's more like, how do you use it to help yourself and all that? Well, thanks. I'm looking forward to these. Okay. The next item would be to act on the budget timeline.
Just as a reminder, you did a first read in July, and so tonight we actually act on that timeline. There is really no significant change to the previous year.
So moved.
Thank you, Mike. I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? None, okay, unanimous, thank you. Next would be to act on the MASC Delegate volunteer or person.
It would be whoever wants to put their name forward and then vote on that.
Okay, is there anybody who would like to be the MASC Delegate for us?
Could I nominate, I think Margaret did in the past, and I'd like to, if she's willing to, I'd nominate her again. If I'm wrong about that, I apologize, but either Margaret or Kelly, I don't know who it was.
It was Margaret.
Thank you. So I stand by nominating Margaret to do it.
But actually Linda did it last year, but I'm not sure she's going to.
But I'm gonna second your nomination.
There you go. Okay, let's vote quick. All
Did
right.
you accept? Do you?
It's too late. We voted.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed or abstaining? You can't oppose it, Margaret. Don't we usually have an alternate to just,
I nominate Glenda.
yeah?
I'm not sure I'm gonna be able to attend.
Right, I think that's the question, is who's going to be at the meetings. I mean, the question would be who is going to be at the conference.
Yeah, I'm gonna be there, so I can be an alternate.
And can I say that there's a number of resolutions that's going to be voted on this fall, and I'm happy to sit and talk with
Okay,
things so we can talk through those. It's coming forth for a vote at the conference.
Yeah, I think that's important, because in previous years, we really have not had those discussions for the whole committee. It's hard to represent the committee if you don't know what they're thinking.
Yeah.
Right. Okay, thank you. Next item is to act on the Hershey Park field trip.
Did we have to vote to make?
We did have to.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there a
I
motion?
nominate myself.
Second.
Okay, all those in favor?
Aye.
Any abstaining or no? Okay.
All right, I'm sorry, did you say the next one?
Yeah, I did.
Yeah, the Hershey Park, yes, okay. So the Falmouth High School, I'm really excited, they're planning a trip to Hershey Park. So it's been a couple years since the band's actually been able to take a trip, so this is exciting. I'm really impressed with our new band director, Andrew Helwick. The students really are responding. It's a young growing team, or band, I guess they're a team. Are they a team? They're a team. Could be a team, right? The band performers. So they would be actually performing at the Music in the Parks Festival. This is a nationwide festival. It's very high level, and so they will be competing. And they will also get to see the talent and excellence from across the country. That anytime you could have those opportunities, again, it just continues to grow your own achievement and excellence as well. So I fully support the band getting to take this 3-day trip to Hershey Park.
I'd like to make the motion to approve it as a former band kid and somebody who's been on a few of those trips. I'm happy to see it come back. It's a great experience for the band and for everyone. So I'd like to make the motion.
I will second it.
That's right.
Any other comments or anything?
I just have a couple of questions. Will the 8th grade be included on this or no?
It's I'm not sure. I'm looking at Sonia if she knows that. I don't know that.
We've not in the past. I was just wondering for numbers.
Yeah.
Okay.
8th grade is participating more than they did in the past. So Does it matter, make a difference in your
No,
vote?
no,
I
absolutely
can get
not.
clarification and let you know.
It's fine,
Okay.
not a big deal.
I'm gonna put it on my to-do list.
It's, don't put it on the list, it's okay.
It's good for us tonight.
Okay. All right, no other comments or questions, so all those in favor of the motion?
Aye.
Any abstaining or saying no? Okay. Next on the agenda is to act on a vehicle surplus.
All right, we have a 2014 Ford Eco van that has 250,000 miles, and I'm pretty sure the engine's been in it. But other than that, so we are ready to surplus. This really should be taken off the road. There will be a notice in the paper for anyone that wants to bid on it.
So moved.
Second.
Okay. Any comments or questions? All right, all those in favor say aye. Aye. Any abstain or objection? Say no. Okay, we're rolling through these unanimous votes here tonight. Okay, next we will have routine business, which means to vote to approve the minutes. So first we have the minutes of August 12th. Do we usually put them together or are we doing separate?
We're doing separately.
Okay, so is there a motion to accept the minutes for August 12th?
I'll make the motion.
Second.
Thank you.
Okay. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Abstain, say no. Okay. Act on the minutes of August 19th.
I'll make that motion.
Second.
Any questions or comments or edits? No. Okay, all those in favor? Aye. Abstaining or noes? None. Okay. Next, we will have some committee reports. So, Mike.
I went to a couple of DEIB meetings. I forgot last time to talk about it, but today I remembered. So we had a nice meeting, I think it was last week or so, and there's an Indigenous People celebration coming up, which is being sponsored by a bunch of groups in town, including the DEIB committee. And what else happened? It was a long meeting.
It was,
There was discussion of the good work that Susan Lumping and the committee has done overall with equity, inclusion, and belonging. And they had a report at the select board meeting last night, and that's all we have from DEIB. The most important thing was the Indigenous People event happening. Thank you.
Can you send it to us? Do you have?
the report
No, the information for the upcoming event.
that happened yesterday.
No, the Indigenous People event?
Oh, yeah, we can get some.
That'd be
Yep.
great.
Yeah, I don't know the details actually, other than it's that
coming up.
Monday.
Probably that weekend.
Yeah.
It's gonna be that weekend, and we'll get more information, but we'll make sure that sends out.
Yeah, the DIB supported the sponsorship of the event is what, yeah, but it's happening,
And you served well as technical support, so that was good.
yeah, and the Zoom is iffy. That's it. Thank you, Terry.
Okay, thank you for the report. Any other reports? Glenda?
So just as a point of information, as part of our ongoing effort to be more communicative with the public, Chris and I have committed to holding drop-in listening sessions with the community on the third Saturday of each month at the main library from 10:30 to 11:30. And we are committing to be there, but we'd love it if other members of the committee wanted to join us as well. So if you're inclined to grab a cup of coffee and join us at the library at 10:30, that would be great. If you could just text one of us to let us know, because we don't want to run into issues with a quorum. So thank you. I don't know if Chris wants to say anything else.
No, just something that we thought was very important, just to reach out to the community. But yeah, I think we're looking forward to kind of sitting down and hopefully, spreading the word that we're there and available and always there to listen. So even if it's, even if we can rotate through people, if whoever is interested in doing it, we're happy to do that. But definitely Glenda and I are committed to being there. So thank you, Glenda.
So,
And it was the third Saturday of the month.
We're gonna do the third Saturday of every month, at least through December, we'll see how it goes, at 10:30. I've forgotten the name of the room.
Bay Room.
The Bay Room in the main library downtown. So grab your coffee-o, come over and
And
hang out
what
with
kind
us.
of efforts to get this out information?
So I'm talking to Terry about it, social media, flyers, word of mouth. Hopefully it'll be in the enterprise.
Thank you.
Okay. Nobody else has it. I just wanted to say, I read that the MASC Division 7, which is us, is looking for officers. So if any of you would want to be, run to be an officer from that division, I will get you more information about it. I'm sorry, it's kind of half-baked information, but, so think about it. Cal?
I just wanted to mention, we were looking the other way, so in the spirit of being available and being, around where parents and families and community members are, so we can hear from them. Margaret and I were at the Back to School Bash, and first of all, that was incredible. Yay to the rec and to the team here for putting that on. It was wild. I could not believe how many people were there and how much free stuff there was. I hope it happens every year. So hopefully we can do more of those things because it was very well received, I think, that we were there.
Okay, I was also going to say that there was going to be a event on September 24th to, is the public invited, Sonia, to this, or is it just school committee members and to the thing for?
Yeah, maybe it's a capacity piece, right?
Oh, this is your school?
Yeah, the
Yeah.
museum and cultural center.
Yeah, okay, I'll follow up with information about that. Another thing I wanted to follow up on is we heard tonight the goals from, the district goals, we heard Lori's goals, and to remind you that next Tuesday night is our goals workshop. It'll be starting at 6:30. And another meeting that's coming up that will be, the agenda will be posted tomorrow or Thursday, is for September 30th. We're gonna have our first special meeting about navigating the future, which will be, the topic of which will be 8th grade. So the agenda will be posted, I repeat, tomorrow or Thursday for the public to see. Just wanted to give a little extra heads up on it. Mike?
I got something else in my brain. PTO meetings. I know that Lawrence and Morse Pond start Wednesday the 17th. I don't know about the elementary schools, but just for the parents that want to get involved, and for any of us who want to drop by a PTO meeting, they're starting up again in 2 weeks.
Okay. All right, is there a request for follow-up on anything?
I have two things. One is, at our last special meeting on the 19th, it was not broadcast on FCTV, and Dr. Dewar said that special meetings are not typically broadcast. I would like to make a motion, if I can at this time, Madam Chairwoman.
You have to say what,
I didn't know if I could. Okay. I would like to make a motion that we change that because we have 7 special meetings coming up between now and December, which are very important, and I think it's critical that they are broadcast on FCTV so that we are held accountable and so that the public can review what we said if they're not able to make it to the meeting. So I make the motion that special meetings that are pertaining to district-wide concerns are broadcast on FCTV going forward.
okay. Is there a second to that motion?
Can I second it for discussion?
Okay.
I'll second it, yeah.
Okay, so remember last year, it's fuzzy about making motions because I don't know that this is on our agenda tonight.
Yeah.
So I don't know that we can do that. I said I was gonna research this didn't happen again. When I researched, that's what I found out. We can't make a motion about something that is not on our agenda. So we will find a way to get an answer to your question and your desire, okay? But I don't believe we can do the motion.
I'm just concerned because our next special meeting will not be available for the public to view. Are we having discussion?
No,
Okay.
we can't. we just
All
cannot
right,
do
I
this.
withdraw my motion, but
But,
my request for follow-up then is that we work to make FCTV viewership possible at our next special meeting and ongoing special meetings. That's my request. I have another one. I would like to add to the agenda for our special meeting that's upcoming, if anybody else is interested in having this on the agenda, to have a discussion about the timeline for our 7 upcoming special meetings. We didn't have a chance to discuss that, it just was emailed out. So I personally would like to confirm and deliberate amongst ourselves that we like this timeline, that we approve of the timeline, and that there's nothing that we want to change about it before it's set in stone. So if it's possible, I would love to have that added to our agenda so we can talk about it.
So you would like that added to our agenda for the next meeting?
For our special meeting, because it's part of that topic, or where, I mean, I don't know where it should go, but we're having a special meeting, and this is about our special meetings.
Okay,
I'm saying that so many times.
Yes, I'm not sure exactly the proper legal way to do it, but I will confer with our parliamentarian. We don't need to do this online. Margaret and I will look it over and figure out the way to properly do this, okay?
Can you just remind me, do other people have to express that they want that in order for it to be an agenda? I can't quite remember right now how.
I don't think we have a definitive answer on that. Okay.
That's why I brought it up during
Okay.
the meeting.
All right. Yes?
I just wanted to make a suggestion that I'm concerned about making a demand of FCTV when we don't run FCTV. But maybe we could just make it available via Zoom so that it's accessible for the meeting. Just throw that out there.
Okay. All right. Is there anything else for tonight? Is there a motion to adjourn early?
Second.
Thank you, Mike.
All those in favor? Aye. Abstaining or noes? Okay. Thank you. Thank you for a very nice first meeting of the year, guys.
Wow, 40 minutes.